What if I told you the problem isn't that you don't earn enough, but that the system quietly adjusted to absorb everything you earn? Picture this couple. She works in marketing, earning $62,000 a year. He's in IT, making $71,000. Together, that's $133,000 annually, comfortably inside the top 25% of U.S. households. On paper, they are the success story. 2 degrees. 2 careers. A house in a good neighborhood. 2 cars in the driveway. Health insurance. Retirement accounts open. They did everything right. So why does it feel like they're one unexpected bill away from panic? Why does a car repair go straight to a credit card? Why is their emergency fund only 2 months deep? Why do they rarely see each other during the week except for a few exhausted evening hours? And why, despite earning 6 figures, do they feel financially fragile? If any of this sounds uncomfortably familiar, stay with me. What you're about to see isn't a budgeting failure. It's a structural pattern. And if you appreciate content that questions the financial assumptions most people never examine, make sure you subscribe. The next few minutes might permanently shift how you think about money. The story we were sold. For decades, we've been told something that seems logically airtight. 2 incomes are better than 1. If one person earning $50,000 can support a family, then 2 people earning $50,000 each should create surplus wealth. Simple addition. Except that's not what happened. In 2003, long before entering politics, Harvard bankruptcy law professor Elizabeth Warren and her daughter Amelia Warren Tyagi published research after studying over 2,000 bankruptcy filings. What they discovered was counterintuitive. Families with 2 working parents were not more financially secure. They were, in many cases, more likely to file for bankruptcy. They coined a term for this pattern, the 2-income trap. That phrase alone forces a question. How can doubling income increase vulnerability? 1970 versus today, a quiet shift. To understand the trap, we have to go back. In 1970, about 43% of women participated in the workforce. Many middle-class households relied primarily on 1 income. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics and Census data, a median-income family could afford a median-priced home while spending roughly 25% of their income on housing. They could afford a modest home, public school education, basic health care, a car, food, some savings. Most importantly, they had margin. If the primary earner lost their job, the stay-at-home parent could enter the workforce. That second potential income functioned as an insurance policy. Now fast forward. Female workforce participation rose significantly. In more than 60% of married couples with children today, both parents work. The backup plan became the default plan. Meanwhile, household income did rise in nominal terms. In 2023, median U.S. household income was around $74,000, higher in inflation-adjusted terms than 1970. But now look at what happened to core costs. Median home prices have more than doubled relative to inflation compared to 1970. Healthcare spending per household increased several-fold. Childcare averages over $11,000 per year per child nationally, far higher in major metro areas. College tuition has risen over 1,200% since 1980. The second income did not create excess security. It was absorbed. The illusion of the big number. Let's isolate what really happens. Imagine. Partner A earns $70,000. Partner B earns $50,000. Combined income, $120,000. Focus only on the $50,000 second income. First, taxes. Because of progressive tax brackets, that additional income often faces a higher marginal rate. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, the $50,000 may shrink to roughly $32,000 to $35,000 in take-home pay. Now add child care for one child, around $15,000 annually. We're down to roughly $17,000 to $20,000. Add commuting costs, fuel, maintenance, insurance, possible second vehicle depreciation, conservatively $8,000 per year. Now we're at around $10,000 to $12,000. Add the exhaustion expenses common in dual-income homes. Takeout meals, dining out, convenience services, cleaning help, lawn care, time-saving subscriptions. Another $5,000 to $10,000. The net contribution of that $50,000 income can shrink dramatically. In some cases, it's only a few $1,000s. In others, nearly break even. Yet psychologically, the household makes decisions based on $120,000, not the marginal reality of that second paycheck. They qualify for a larger mortgage. They finance cars accordingly. They size their lifestyle to match gross income. As long as both incomes flow continuously, everything appears stable. But remove one, and the structure strains immediately. The disappearing backup plan. The single-income family of 1970 had one major advantage: flexibility. If the breadwinner lost a job, the stay-at-home spouse could work. Today's dual-income household has already deployed that option. Both incomes are committed. If one partner loses employment, falls ill, or must care for a family member, the household doesn't just lose income, it often loses solvency. The Federal Reserve reported in 2019 that nearly 40% of American adults could not cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing or selling something. Many of those households earn solid incomes. This is not about financial ignorance. It's about fixed cost escalation. The housing arms race. Housing is where the structural shift becomes most visible. When single-income households were standard, families competed for homes based on one income. As dual-income households became normal, purchasing power doubled. Families could bid higher for the same properties. Prices rose. Two incomes became the new baseline requirement. School districts, funded heavily by property taxes, intensified the competition. Families bid up housing in good districts, effectively paying tuition through mortgage payments. The result? You don't need two incomes for luxury. You need two incomes for normal. And once locked into a mortgage sized for both incomes, stepping back becomes nearly impossible. The psychological trap. The danger isn't visible day to day. The trap works because gross income looks impressive. You see $120,000 on your tax return. You assume you should feel secure. When you don't, you blame spending habits. But often, the issue is structural. Your fixed expenses expanded to consume your income. And because both partners are working at full capacity, there is no unused earning potential left as emergency backup. It's like running an engine at 100% output continuously. It functions until it doesn't. The strategic alternative. So what can be done? Not necessarily quitting a job. Not rejecting ambition. But restructuring how income is treated. Instead of building fixed costs around two permanent incomes, design your core obligations, housing, debt, essentials, so they can be covered by one income. That's the one income foundation model. The second income then becomes emergency fund growth, retirement investing, debt elimination, taxable investment accounts, optional lifestyle upgrades. Each invested dollar buys flexibility. Each reduction in fixed cost restores margin. Within 5 to 10 years of disciplined allocation, something changes. Investment income begins to contribute. Debt declines. Emergency reserves deepen. Gradually, the household moves from survival dependence to optionality. That's what most dual-income households believed they were getting in the first place: security. What this is really about. This conversation isn't about gender roles. It's not about discouraging careers. It's about margin. Financial strength isn't determined by gross income. It's determined by how much room exists when something goes wrong. Previous generations often had lower nominal earnings but more shock absorption. Today, many households earn more but operate with thinner buffers. Two incomes are powerful if one remains structurally optional. If both are already spent before they arrive, the illusion of prosperity replaces actual resilience. You can earn your way out of many problems, but you cannot earn your way out of a trap you don't recognize. Now you recognize it. If this analysis gave you a new lens on your own finances, subscribe for more deep breakdowns that challenge conventional money advice. The system makes more sense once you see the mechanics behind it.